Hey traders, and welcome back to IFX. And on the previous video we talked about the average trading, the beneficial advantage of actually using average trading instead of actually using stop losses. So since this is very important of our trading, I'm gonna be making a lot more videos in regards to this. So if you were confused or you still having some questions, let me know on the comments, and then I'm gonna be able to come into those questions and be able to make a better video. But don't worry about this, I'm definitely going to be making a lot more videos when it comes down to that. So today we're going to really finalize the EA, all the little different notions or settings that we have in here. That pretty much is almost done. You already learned about all the filters, average trading, and everything that the EA has, so that it can help you trade much better. So today pretty much all we're missing is we have talked about the auto settings, tradings, and right here, and then also money management. And then we're also going to talk about the manual trading. If you use manual trading, like right in here, you can actually buy and sell if you want as well. So if you don't want the EA. So one thing that you can do is that if you have the EA to give you an alert, you set all the settings, and then when you get an alert from the EA, all you have to do is see that alert and see if you like it after you analyze the market. And all you do is you come here to buy and sell, and then that's it. So you got to make sure that you keep it on M, which is manual trading, and every time it's on M, it's only going to alert you. If you click on here, it's going to be an A, right? So I'm gonna just click on it so you can actually know. So when I click on it, then it's going to actually be on automatic. Okay, so if it's an automatic, and then you have to make sure that your auto trading is on as well. So this way, if this is off, this is not going to work. I'm not going to be able to enter into a trade, nor if it's going to enter on an automatic. So let's say you don't want the EA to trade anything at all. Although you have it on automatic, all you do is turn this thing off, and then that's it. And then you just turn it on whenever you want. Also, just a brief thing right now, if you make any changes to the EA, make sure that you set it to manual. You make the changes, right? You go in here, you make any changes whatsoever, then you go to OK, and then after that you go back to automatic to be able to kind of set those settings, right? Okay, so just to make sure of that. So this is pretty much the EA. You know, all your quote in here, you're gonna get the signal that comes up, you know, strategy 1 and 5, or strategy 2 and 15, you know, whatever it is, buy or sell. So in here, once a trade is open, you're gonna be able to see it right here. Again, you can close the trade by closing right over here. All right, so that was very simple. Now let's talk about just right here from the beginning, license key. You gotta make sure you put in your license key. If it's not in there, if it's incorrect, you have to let me know. But you know, pretty much you should already know that you know what your license key is. For manual trading, so if you want to trade manually from buy and sell right over here, all you do is you change your lot size in here, right? You change it to a lot size. And then you can even take in here, take profit and stop loss automatically. So once you click it, then it's going to be automatic, you know, take you in and then stop, you know, have your stop loss and you take profit without doing anything else. So that's simple. Now we have here auto trading right here. So if you want the EA to trade automatically, right, to be on A right here, then you have to set your auto lot size. So what is it that you want? It remember, it all depends on your account size. Don't go crazy over leveraging, you know, just practice first, you know, choose the minimum size, which is 0.01. Then in here, how many trades are you allowing the EA to open? So it's very important, because there's some brokers, especially US brokers, they don't allow hedging, which we talked about on yesterday. On hedging, that, you know, right over here on average trading settings, we have the enable hedging trading, buy and sell, right? So right over here, if the broker does not allow hedging, you will have to set this to false. And then, you know, you're just gonna pretty much make a buy entry. If the first entry was a buy, then that's it, right? Then it's going to look only for buy opportunities. Although there are some brokers that don't even allow that much for even multiple buys, you need to have like a stop loss and take profit that is different for both of them. So it's a little bit complicated out there. So if you have those type of trader brokers that are a bit complicated, then right in here you can just say one entry per pretty much one entry per per pair, and that's it. So enters once, if it works, great. If it doesn't, great also, right? So one enter, not one pair, and that's it. Even if you allow this to hedge, you can say yes, because you're allowing only one maximum open trade. It's not going to open any other trade whatsoever. Even if you have this on automatic, it's only gonna give you the alert, but it's not going to enter because you have the maximum trades open. So in here, when we're trading automatic, this is critical, especially if you're going to trade minimum distance between trades, and we're going to do average trading. It's nice to be able to allow some trades to be open so they can group together and close at a certain pip count, right? So as a minimum, I would say between 4 to 6 to start off. It all depends on the account size. Of course, you don't want to have, if you put in a total of 10 pairs to run, and then you allow the maximum of trades opened on 6 on each pair, you have to take into account your account balance, right? You can't be having so many pairs open or so many trades open, right? So if you don't have a big account, you have to take into account how many pairs do you really want open that the EA can open for you, right? So you want a maximum of 4 or you want a maximum of 3. So that really depends on you. That really depends on the type of trader that you are and the account balance that you have. All those little details have to come into account. And maybe you don't like scalping, so maybe for scalpers, maybe you want 1 or 2 maximum open trades at a time per pair. Remember, whatever we do on the EA is only taking into account per pair. It's not doing it for every single pair. Okay, you have to pretty much save it and then apply it to each pair after that. So you want, this is, it all depends on you. I have it usually 6 pairs. Now, this is the GMT time on the chart. If you want this, remember, brokers, they work on GMT time. So this is very important too, because if I set this to true and I only want the EA to work from certain time to a certain time, you have to actually compare that time. So I'm going to say, okay, oh, it didn't come up. Give me 1 second. And okay, here it is. Okay, so this is the GMT time and this is my current time, right? 15, and this is the GMT time 12. So I have to know that I have a 3-hour difference, right? I have a 3-hour difference, so I have to know what is the real time that I want the EA to work. So you just compare, like, hey, maybe the Asian time, New York time starts like around, I know I have a 3-hour difference in timing, something like that. And then I have to say, okay, so if at 5 o'clock in here, my time, right? If 5:15 or whatever, this is the London session or the New York session, I have to kind of compare this timing, my timing, to the GMT time so that I'm able to actually put the right timing in here, okay? Because everybody's timing is different. So that's something that you have to understand. If in here you put in to start trading at 5 or at 4 and then end at 20, well, this timing is my time is going to be different than yours. So, you have to compare it to your GMT time and kind of say, okay, so this is what I want. I want the Asian, or maybe I only want the start of London and then the end of the New York session. And then you have to calculate that, kind of comparing it to this GM time to this, and then play around with that. So it's a bit complicated, but you can make it happen. Now, you also have an option here of the type of entry orders that you want. Let's say there are some type of traders that set their EA to do certain things ahead of time. which I have explained it on previous videos. So you can say, you know what, I only want buy entries, or I only want sell entries, or pretty much both directions, whatever is happening at the moment. But if you're a planner, if you like to plan ahead of time with the market, then you can actually set it to only get into a buy position for the next day. If you're only planning, this is good if you plan for the next day. You know, you look at the end of today, and then you want the EA to actually enter into a buy position, then you only do say, hey, tomorrow I want you to buy only at this time, starting from this time, you know, pretty much you want to give it a time, or if you don't really care about this, then you just let it be, you know, from 0 to 24 hours, and then that's it, right? And then you can just, if you don't want to see the time, you set this to false. And then, but this is only if you like to plan ahead. If you don't really plan ahead, you're just waiting for the EA to give you the best alternatives, then you just leave it as both directions, and that's about it. Now, money management. This is only going to tell you what's the drawdown and the growth for your account. So if you set this to true, then what is this going to do is this say, okay, I only want to risk 2% of my account for daily, right? And then if we 3% daily. This is an example. So let's say, for example, your account reaches to 2% drawdown, then what it's going to do is going to stop trading. That's it. It's going to stop trading for today. As long as that trade is closed or open, it's going to stop trading. If the next day that trade is still open, if you have not closed it, then it is in, and it's still on a drawdown, it is still not going to open a trade the next day. Okay, so this is something important. This is good for people who are just revenge traders and stuff like that. So the EA is not going to let you enter a trade. The EA is not going to trade automatically, because that's it. You already lost 2% on the day, whether the trade is open or whether the trade is actually closed. This is great. Let's say I did an FTMO account, and then if it reached to a 2%, 2.5% drawdown, then what I did is stop entering, and then it gave me some time to kind of see what was going on, if I had to get out of a trade, and then kind of see, let it like come back together itself again, and then eventually would enter into new trades and stuff like that. So this is good to kind of not enter into so many trades and then risk entering your account and then hit the maximum drawdown. So this is, it's not going to close any trades. It's just letting you know that you're done for the day. If you hit your growth, then it's gonna stop trading, and then this is a good time to just get up from your chair, from the computer, and then stop trading for the day, and then start a new day tomorrow. So this is pretty much what this is all about. Now with this, if you set this to true, this is going to be is going to enter a lot based on your account balance. Okay, so if you don't want a fixed lot like right here, and you want it based on your account balance, you say, hey, I want it 2% of my account, or or 50% of my account, or whatever it is, then you use that in here, and then in here you say, okay, do not go a max of 1 standard lot or 2 standard lots, just in case, right? So that's pretty much it. But the only thing with this is that if you do this, then the average trading, the lot multiplier right here is not going to work. This is only going to work only with the fixed lot right here, is starting at 0.2. Okay, so it's not going to work with the lot multiplier. It's going to work with fixed lot size. So that's something that you have to keep in mind, that if you want lot size multiplier, remember we talked about this, if he enters on multiple trades in the same direction, so if the first trade was at 0.02, and then if we set it at 1.3, then it's going, the next trade is going to open a little bit, a lot size a little bit higher, and then the next one a little bit higher, and so on and so forth. So when you use this, you cannot use this. Okay, this has to be false. Okay, so that's something that you have to keep into account. Now there are some brokers that have right here suffix, for the pairs that are different at the end of the pair, like here, like if you go to the market watch, and I can go right here, where it says point VAR, or some of them has point pro. So what you do is you actually going to type that in here just in case, because this is going to affect your lot size multiply right here, the enable account lot size. So all you have to do is type in pro, and then that's it. You don't have to do anything else, so you just leave it in there if you have those type of pairs, or that ends with a different number. So you have to type it just as it is, point, and then whatever it is. Okay, so that's done with that. If you use any of this money management, with this, again, as a summary, this will just stop trading for you if it reaches either one of these two, right? If it's a drawdown and still an open trade for the next day and you're still in drawdown, it is still not going to open a new trade until you actually go back to normal. Then right here, a lot size based on account balance, pretty much, and this is only going to work. This, the lot multiplier right here is not going to work if this is true. It's going to be based on your fixed lot size. Okay, so that is pretty much when it comes down to the major thing in here. Now, any other thing right here, we have the spread filter. If maybe you have major news, then you don't want the spread to the EA to open any crazy trades, something that goes above. So right here is based on points. So 50 points is actually 5 pips. So anything above that is not going to enter into a trade. And maybe, so something like that, you can just set this to lower or higher, whatever it is that you want. Then right here, block settings. This is maximum retest allowed. Remember, retest entries. You can just set this to, leave it to 3. I have, pretty much, we don't, right now with the minimum distance between trades is not going to open multiple trades within the same price, which before it was doing that. So now 3, it's fine, or even you can use 5 as that. And then in here, include the trend block left candle wick. This is if you want to be extra conservative. I always have it as false, and that is pretty much mainly, these have gone this on the previous videos. It's going to be used if the left wick is higher than the wick that is using to make the block, then it's going to use that. Okay, and that's it. Any other settings for the EA, you will have to go all the way at the bottom, where you actually going to find other settings where you can put in if you want sound alerts, if you want email notifications, or if you want push notifications, if you want to move the quote panel, which is going to be this, if you want to move it to the right or to the left. This is the font size as well, if you want to make it smaller or bigger. And you want to pretty much, if you want to move stuff like that, this is the sounds for sell and buy and close. Magic number is very important. This is if you, let's say you have a different type, you have euro dollar and you have open 2 euro dollars, and on one you're going to use scalping strategies, and then on the second one you're going to use swing strategies. So in here you have to change the magic number for that, otherwise they're going to interfere and then it's not going to make the right decisions. Okay, so it's going to conflict, and then it's going to be bad. So make sure when you, especially, or if you have multiple MT4 accounts running different type of strategies, and then of course you're gonna have one MT4 running euro dollar whatever, all the pairs on the same one on another MT4, you still have to change the magic number, otherwise those 2 MT4s on the same computer are going to conflict. Okay, so this is very important that you actually do that. The EA depends on these 3 indicators right here, so you need to have them under your indicators folder. Does not have to be put on the graph. All you have to do is activate it, put in your license key and activate that, and then that's pretty much it. But it has to be on your indicators folder, which I'm going to show you right now, and I'm going to show you an example where you actually, this is in EA right here, and this will be the indicators folder right here, where I only have the 3 major indicators that the EA needs, right? It has to be outside, not in a subfolder, okay? And then in here, like you can see, I have all of the EA on all of the pairs, and they do not need to have the indicators itself, okay? Not even, just all you need is to make sure that you activate it. You put the license key, and then you put the license key in here, and then that's it. They don't need to have any indicator at all. All you have to do is manage it. And then another thing is that when you put in the EA on one, and then all you do is you resave it, you make a template, and then you apply it to every single one of them. And then after that, all you have to do is change, either take profits on, you know, some different pairs, or if you want to change some settings, but so that you don't have to apply it all the time. All you have to do is pretty much just, you know, pretty much just apply the same template to every single one of them, and that's about it, right? So just keep that in mind. So this is the end of the EA, of everything that it has, everything that you need. And if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'm always available. If you have any suggestions, I'm always open to that as well, always trying to make things better. And the only last thing is, that's it. You know, the next couple of videos that we're going to be having is pretty much just trading and finding the best settings for the EA, and then also applying what are the advantages and disadvantages of having a stop loss. You know, you have to let me know what you're looking for. If you're looking for scalping or swing trading, I can always help you set up the best EA settings. So if you have any questions, please let me know. One other thing that I want to go over is that there will be times when I'm going to give you set files, okay? So the set files, you can actually save it right here. Now, let's say I have this set file, and then I can just save in here. And then all I can do is, well, I don't have a different type of computer, but then you save it into your, right here, into your programs. You go to MT4, well, not MT4, you go to MQL4, and actually you go here to tester, okay? You save it right over here. You're set, right? You're gonna name it, and then you can save it and send it to me. Or if I'm going to, you know, if I put in set files for you to have, then all you have to do is actually go to load, right? You go into your computer, right? And you go into your program files, right? And then you go to your tester, and then you set the file that you want, you open it. Once you open it, I'm not going to open it, but once you open it, then all you have to do is actually make sure you have the license key, because it's going to maybe more or less give you my license key. So all you have to do is change this and keep the rest if you want, or if you want to do some modifications, you can do that as well. So in the next following video, we're actually going to talk about how you can actually use the tester, how to test the EA, and what are the best possibilities, you know, to test the EA. I know many questions on that too. So, but for right now, I think you have everything that you need for what's inside the EA. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. Like the video, subscribe, and I see you on the Telegram channel.